Okay, so with the racing car on top and the model car on the bottom, if you have the picture, you don't have to worry about much. You just turn it right into proportion. If all you have is words, it's a little bit more complicated. So looking at this one, I would put 1.8 over what? What would you put underneath the 1.8? I would put the 6.3 because it's already lined up that way. 1.8 over 6.3. And what would you put on top over here? 5 over x. That's right. That's the unknown one. So you cross multiply 1.8 times x, and it equals 5 times 6.3. 6.3 times 5. I get 31.5. And when I divide that by x, you have, sorry, divide by 1.8, 17.5. Okay? If they give you a picture, you can set up just like that. But let's label that. Is that 17.5 meters or 17.5 centimeters? Where is it located? Centimeters. It's the model car. It's the one that's talking about centimeters. 17.5 centimeters. Okay, look at letter B. Anyone still writing? Look at letter B. There's no picture. There's just words. But let's find the keywords. The ratio of a model sailboat dimensions to the actual boat is this. So what we're dealing with is a model boat. You guys have room underneath, huh? So write yours underneath. We have a model boat. I'm going to put all the model numbers on top. And we have an actual boat. I'm going to put all the actual numbers on the bottom. And I'm going to set up a proportion. All the numbers talking about the model goes on top. All the numbers talking about the actual goes on bottom. So see this right here? It's already set up. The 1 is on top. That's smaller. That's the model. The 30 is on bottom. That's the actual. So they make it a little easier when they give you a scale factor because all you have to do is start with that. 1 over 30. The only hard part is to line the other two numbers up. If the length of the model is 10 inches, what is the length of the actual sailboat? You have to decide where the 10 goes. Does the 10 go on top or on bottom? The top, yep. The model is on top. The model is 10 inches. And the bottom is the question. What is the length of the actual boat? The question is the variable. So you cross multiply it. 1 times x is x. 30 times 10 is 300. And that one is, since we put the 30 on the bottom, it's 300 feet. Because the model is represented in inches, the boat is represented in feet. There you go. All right, questions about that one? Letter C, you guys know how to do now. You could draw a picture. How many of you don't like drawing a picture and you just want to make a proportion? Okay, let's try it that way today. So that you could do it yesterday's way of setting up the picture and making your proportion out of that, or you could do it just like this. So what we're going to do is the girl who's 5 feet tall wanted to find the height of a statue, so we're doing the shadow problem here. She measured the shadow of the statue and her own shadow. So there's two things to compare. The girl and what else? The statue. The two objects are the girl and the statue. Now we're going to use shadow over here. So set up a proportion with the girl on top, the statues on the bottom. Or you could flip it over as long as you keep it the same. Now there's two comparisons. We're going to measure the girl's height versus what? What goes right here? The shadow, right? The shadow length. So if you don't want to draw a picture, you could set it up this way. You have to just find your 4 parts. Proportions are all about the 4 parts. The height versus the shadow. The shadow length, you could write that in if you want to be really specific. Okay, so now we just start filling in numbers. A girl who is 5 feet, you know what? I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to point to a corner and you tell me what goes there. What's the height of the girl? 5. What's the length of the girl's shadow? 2. Her own shadow is 2. Very good. What's the height of the statue? Say it again. X. X. Good. The question is, what is the height of the statue? That means that's the one we don't know. Okay. And then it says, now we're on shadow length of statue. What goes right there? 9. Okay, so you can set it up that way too. If you're visual, make the picture. If you're more like just setting up formulas, then set it up this way. It still becomes 2 times x equals 45. And x equals 22.5 feet. Is that drawing better? Good. Both ways are good. All right, and the last one, letter D. These are all different, but they're all about setting up proportions. So you just have to look at the clues. Who's still writing? All right, so the last one, letter D. The Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C. is about 57 meters long and 36 meters wide. If you make a scale drawing using 1 to 15, what would be the dimensions of your drawing? This is different. What is the variable? The variable meaning what's the question? The question that they're asking is what you call x. So what is the question? The dimensions of the drawing, that's right. Dimensions is plural. There's 2 unknowns. You need to figure out the length. Did they go by length? Yeah, you need to figure out 2 things. You need to figure out the length and the width. I'm going to draw that like this. You need to figure out the length and the width. There's 2 parts to this question. The length and the width. There's not just one answer, and it's not just one proportion. When there's 2 questions, there's 2 variables, and you can't solve them at the same time. Once you do that, you can take each proportion separately, and you can fill it in. The winky one is the one where he's sitting on this one. Okay, so let's talk about length first. The scale is given to us 1 centimeter over 15. 1 centimeter to 15. We've got the scale on top. The actual one is on the bottom. 1 centimeter represents the model. 15 meters represents the actual. The model, the actual. Okay, now talk about length only. Length only, that is this one right here. The memorial is about 57 meters long. Where does the 57 go, top or bottom? The actual memorial is meters. Where does the 57 meters go? Bottom, good. The 15 meters is on the bottom, so the 57 meters is going to go on the bottom. And the length we don't know. This time I'm going to call it L instead of X. L for length. So we have 15L equals 57. And I think that's 3 point something. Oops, sorry. So you have, anybody have that calculated? 57 divided by 15, anybody have that? Say again? 3.8. And that one would be in centimeters, because that number's at the top where the model was. That was centimeters, the drawing. Okay, you take a second, and you try to set up the one for the width. The scale factor is still the same. The drawing, the smaller one is 1 centimeter. The bigger one, the actual is 15. Now you figure out the problem for the width. Read about what the width is given in the problem and where does that go. So the trick is to figure out where does the 36 go. It says that the width of the real memorial is 36 meters wide. Is the meters on top or on bottom? Bottom, the top is centimeters. So that's where your 36 goes, and your model or your drawing is up top. I'll call that W. So then 15W equals 36, and you divide, and what do you get? About 2.4 centimeters. Okay, any questions on that?